I will never abandon others. That is another one of my first early creeds that I consider a part of my nature at this point. So it's a big statement for sure, but I think to tell the story of this creed, it's very simple really. There's two parts to it. Number one is the divorce of my parents. When I was a kid, my dad um, and my mom ended up divorcing because my dad cheated on my mom. And unfortunately, this happened when I was like around elementary school. And eventually, me and my dad had a talk. This was around when I was like, I think, like 12 years old, I'd say. And he asked me like a question that affected me quite a lot for like most of my high school years. He asked me, "Son, do you want me to stay or do you want me to be happy?" And 12-year-old me said, "I want you to be happy, because what other answer is there?" So after that, he left, and I blamed myself for a long time, like past high school, I'd say. There were moments where my mom like would just be crying in her room, and I would hear it because at that time it was just me and my mom, and my sister was off to college. And I heard it, and I was just like, the instant I heard it, I broke down crying, and I just went to like my room or the restroom or whatever, just away, and just like broke down crying, bursting, like feeling so much agony and hate for myself, that because of what my dad asked me and what my dad did and how I responded to his question, like I felt like it was all my fault, that he left us. And obviously now, like despite me feeling like so much emotion behind it, I understand, like, you know, it's not my fault at all. Like, it was always his choice, and it was a way for him to feel better about like not taking responsibility for his choices. So like I'm okay, I'm fine, but I still feel the feeling when I think about like what happened. Um, but in general, like we're all better now, and I don't blame anyone anymore. It's not about that. For me, it's just about how I experienced like being abandoned in my life, and how much it hurt me. There were other instances as well. There were certain friends that I thought were like really close. Like we even promised each other like we'd always be close. Like, and it wasn't a romantic thing, but those promises were not kept, and unfortunately, it affected me. It made me extremely sad. It made me feel like I wasn't wanted as a friend, as someone they cared about, even though they told me they love me, even though they told me that they care about me. It felt like I was abandoned. And it's happened at least 2 or 3 times with friends. And every time it happened, it felt like a sting similar to when my father left. That sense of being abandoned. It was a very strong feeling in my life. And I think because of that, I eventually came to the conclusion, because I know the pain of what it's like to be abandoned, I will never abandon others. That is the story behind that value. I need a better term for it, but I guess oath. It's just an oath. It's just the nature of who I am. Like I just will never do that because I know how it feels like. And I understand the whole like discussion about like toxicity and all that stuff. But for me, if I care about someone, if I love them, if I'm friends with them, like no matter what, I'm still gonna be supporting them, talking to them, helping them whenever they need it. Like that's always how I've tried to live my life, and it will always be how I continue to try to live my life because of my experiences, my story. And that's pretty much it for this one. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have experienced anything similar. I think this one is one of the strongest ones because of the anchor, because of what I've been through in my life. And I will always continue to try my best to uphold it. And I will clarify, like, this whole abandoned thing, it primarily applies to like people I care about and love. Like, even though it's a general statement of like I will never abandon others, it is very much like towards people that I know and care about. I want to make that distinction because, like, I don't want to make it seem like as if, for instance, if a stranger reaches out to me, says hi, and we talk a little bit, and then like I don't respond like online, and then they're like, oh yeah, this person's a fake. This person's like going against what they're saying about abandoning others. That is not what I mean, and I just want to make sure I clarify that just in case, just in case. Okay, that's it for this one.